Refillable pods, AIOs, who fucking knows anymore? But I got something that is actually neater than your normal AIO or pod system. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a dive down. We're gonna take an up close look. On behalf of the company Bohr, we have the Flask, and it is a variable wattage all-in-one Flash pod. Let's dive down, take an up close look at it. We'll come back up, we're going to talk about it. And here we have, by the company Bohr, we have the Flask refillable pod system. This one is different than your normal pod systems, but this is the package that it comes in. They do come in different colors. The one that I have for the review is the black one, and this is how it comes. Now on the back of the box, you can see it, the contents inside. It also does state that it does have 2 coils in it. So you do get 2 coils, one being a 1.2 ohm ceramic coil, and the other one is being a 0.4 ohm mesh coil. And the specifications, 1150 milliamp hour battery. Wattage, it does do up to 20 watts, and your cartridge capacity does hold 2 mils. Along the bottom, something important that they have on the back of the box, just so everybody knows, it is based on their Saga player chip, which features 3 different vape modes, 2 kinds of coils, and all that good stuff. So what we'll do, we'll slide it open, and this is how your device is going to come. Now, everything inside of this box will be the following. You're going to receive a warranty card. You're going to receive the Bohr Flask device. You're going to receive the 2 coils, a instruction manual. You're also going to receive the micro USB cable for charging, and it also brings a little warning card. Now, the 2 coils that do come included with this Flask kit, right here, you can see the one is a ceramic coil, which let me show you this one first. 1.2 ohm, 9 watts, 3.3 volts, 2.7 amps. Now, I know you're wondering, damn, well, why does it have all that information on the coil itself? And we will be getting to that. The second coil that we have, and we'll turn it around, we're going to find it, the mesh coil, 0.4 ohm, 12 watts, 2.2 volts, or 5.5 amps. That's what they recommend run each coils at on this device. Now you can see down in here, as you are able to see, this one here, it is the mesh coil, which will give you a little bit more airflow, and this one here, which is the ceramic coil, is going to be a little bit tighter of a draw, and that's just how they come. If we look along the bottom, you can see this one here, the ceramic coil, is more like your mouth to lung. As you can see, your airflow holes, you only have 2 of them, and your mesh coil would be more like a direct lung, even though you can use mouth to lung with this device and this coil. So it's just something to point out. The one that I'll be using, I'm actually going to be using the mesh coil. Which next, it's going to bring us over to the Bohr Flask device. Now you can see this is how it comes. And on the front, you do have Bohr. This right here is your screen. Yes, it does have a screen, which does tell you the battery and all that stuff. We'll get into that a little bit further. And along the side here, you can see how it does protrude. We actually have an adjustment button to turn it up, turn it down, your volts, your watts, your amps. Yes, it does have all 3 of those settings. You're able to adjust those here on the side. Flip over to the back. You can see where it does have the company logo Bohr, and it is kind of like this brushed metal. So yes, it is. I'm pretty sure it's kind of like a coated stainless. It is made of metal, as to be a fact. It does have nice weight to it. You could tell the battery size inside, being 1150 milliamp hour, makes the device a little bit heavier, and it gives it more battery life. Now right here, you do have your micro USB port for charging, and right here on both sides, you do have that little hole. That's where your airflow is going to come in through the sides, and up through your coil. We'll flip her to the bottom. You can see how you do have 4 holes for venting, made in China. And there we go. So next we're going to come up to the top, and you can see this mouthpiece. It's not the sexiest mouthpiece, but it works. So what we're going to do, just grab it by the mouthpiece and you pull it out, and this is your pod. What we're going to do first, we're going to show you the inside of the device. As you can see, you do have those 3 gold-plated connections, and that is what is going to deliver the current to your coil. Next, we're going to jump over to the pod, and you can see the pod, or the tank necessarily. This I wouldn't call a pod because of using those sub-ohm coils, as to say. So this is more or less like an AIO all-in-one, but this is how it goes. So the tank itself, what it does hold, it holds 2 mils of e-liquid. You can see how it is tinted. I kind of wish that this one here would have come like that clear, you know, would have brought a clear version. The tinted version kind of makes it hard to see the e-liquid that you put in there when filling it up. But I mean, you know, this is how it comes, so this is what we got to point out. Now, to fill this thing up, what you're going to do, you're just going to pull this flap back, and it's going to give you that fill port. Once you install your coil, that is where you're going to fill it. So let me grab the coil, and I'm actually going to grab some e-liquid, and we'll saturate it and proceed from there. And what I'm going to be using is some of this PB and Jam Monster, which is their peanut butter and strawberry jam. And I'm actually going to put a couple drops on the coil. Just get it saturated, a little something something. We'll drop a couple drops down on in here. And then how you insert your coil inside of there, you're just going to drop it down. And it does have one way to go. As you are able to see, you do have those 2 flat edges. Just want to line it up like that. And give it a push down. And that's how easy it is. Now we'll just open up this little flap, and we'll proceed to fill the tank. Now let me see, because of the lighting, it's kind of hard to see. We'll go in here, try to show you so you are able to see it filling up. Now I actually made that little mess, so you've seen the jump cut. What you actually got to do, you just got to be careful when filling this. Like, you just can't go in there and blow it because of the space that the coil takes. So you have to have it on this tilt. So once you have it tilted, then you can proceed to fill it. Just be careful, because if not, you will make a mess, just like I did. And we're just going to fill this up. And once you got it that full, suck a little bit back into the bottle. Pop this in place. Let me wipe all this off. So now that we got it cleaned off, we got her full. You can kind of see inside of there. Like I said, the lighting, it's actually lighter in person than what it looks like on camera. But there we go. 2 mils of e-liquid inside that ugly ass tank. I think it's ugly, but to each their own. There we go. So let's jump over to the device now. And now we come over to the device. Now, this right here is your fire button, as well as your screen. So it's 5 clicks to turn it off, 5 clicks to turn it on. You're gonna see it light up. There we go. And right there you have it in amp mode. Now, on the screen you can see how it does have play. It does read your ohms, read your amps, and you have your battery indicator. Now, to cycle through, it's 3 clicks. And it's gonna bring us, now we're in wattage mode. 3 more clicks. It's going to bring us into voltage. 3 more clicks. Brings you back to amps. So what we're going to do, we're going to give it 3 clicks. We're going to go back into wattage mode. And like I did state, it goes from 20 watts all the way down. If you hold the button in, you can see how it cycles through. And it's going to bring you all the way down to 1 watt. So it does from 1 to 20 watts. There we go. 3 more clicks. And it's going to go from 4.2 volts all the way down. And keep it going. It's actually slow, but the hell with it. Down to 1 volt. 3 more clicks. 7 amps. And it'll take you all the way down. Come on. It's slow. I'm telling you, it's very, very slow. Down to 1 amp. But the way I use it, I like things nice and simple. Leave it in wattage mode, and there we go. So it don't get no easier than that. So what we're gonna do, let's pop the pod into place, and you can hear how it snapped in. 4.6 ohm coil inside of there, and this is your fire button. Just gonna hit it like that. You can see how it does have your second counter, and right there we're good to go. So what we're gonna do next is go back up on top. We're gonna vape on her, we're gonna talk about her, and I'm gonna let you know where you could find the Bohr Flask refillable pod system, or AIO, whatever you want to call it. Let's go back on top. So you've seen that. Comfortability. This thing is actually pretty comfortable. Now, I've come to my comparison in all devices like this. I put it up against the Orion, just because a lot of them are coming out with the design. They're trying to base their design off of the Orion. And you could see the size comparison. It's about the same height as the Orion. It is a little bit longer in length when it comes to that way. And thickness of them, I mean, it got curves and shit, but they're almost the same. Now, how does it vape? This thing does 20 watts. And as you've seen, it does have its little screen, which that as well is its fire button. Once you touch the fire button, it actually fires right away. So it's an automatic response. Now, being able to turn the wattage up, turn the wattage down, that's a plus. But this thing in the hand actually feels very comfortable. I like the way it feels. It's very convenient. You stick it in your pocket, you keep on rolling. It's that simple. Now, the coils that it come with, how's the flavor on it? Not bad. This is an airy device. There are going to be some people that are going to find this too airy, like there is too much air, and not being able to adjust the airflow. It's going to be a con for some people. For me, just the way that I hit on my devices, I feel like it's okay. It could have been a little bit tighter, but it's not bad. And the flavor I'm getting off of it is very good. It's very good flavor that I'm getting off of this thing. So right there, what you see is what you get. It does have that Saga player chip. You did see it in the up close, how easy it is to function the device. So if you think something like this is for you, I definitely recommend you go over there, check the Bohr website, read into it, look into the device. If you think this is for you, pick one up. I've come quite fond of it. It's a neat vape. Like I said, I wish it was a little bit more restrictive. So, you know, it's just going to make it a better mouth-to-lung vape by being less airy. But all in all, the device works. It does what you need it to do. Like I said, I've come quite fond of it. So until the next one, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. And the Batman and Bohr have brought you the Flask refillable all-in-one kit. There we go. Come on. Get you some. Ha ha.